Hi guys, today we're going to talk about dimensional analysis. So what is dimensional analysis? Dimensional analysis is a technique used to convert units. And to be able to convert units, you're going to use your reference sheet that will be handed in to you during your Regents exam at the end of the year. That's why we need to be familiar with that reference sheet. The top part of the reference sheet that you're going to use to do dimensional analysis is going to look like this. So let's learn how we're going to use this reference sheet to convert units. Let's take a look at our first example. How many miles will a person run during a 10-kilometer race? So in this question, I'm trying to convert 10 kilometer to miles. And I'm going to use my reference sheet to be able to convert the units. So to set up the dimensional analysis, I need to start with what's given to me. And what's given to me in this question is 10 kilometer. So I'm going to write down 10 kilometer, and then I'm going to look at the reference sheet to try and identify a piece of information that can help me do the conversion. So looking at this reference sheet, I can see that I have 1 kilometer is equals to 0.62 mile. So I'm going to use this piece of information to write what I call a conversion ratio. And the conversion ratio, I'm going to have to write down or make sure that the unit that I'm trying to get rid of, which is kilometer in this case, is at the denominator of the ratio. And the other piece of information that I got from the reference sheet is at the top of the ratio. So by writing this conversion ratio, I'm going to be able to cancel my kilometer unit because kilometer divided by kilometer are going to cancel each other. Now, the only unit that I have is miles, which is exactly what I need. So after I cancel my kilometer unit, all I need to do is to multiply the numbers. 10 times 0.62 is going to be 6.2 mile. Now let's take a look at the second example. We have how many feet in 25 yards. So I'm trying to change 25 yards into feet. So to be able to set up my dimensional analysis, I need to start with 25 yards. Now, I'm going to have to look at my reference sheet to be able to convert yards into another unit. And hopefully this unit is feet. But if it's not, it's no problem. We're gonna start with converting yard into another unit. And by looking at the reference sheet, we can see that we have 1 mile equal to 1,760 yards. So I'm going to use this piece of information to write down my conversion ratio. So what I'm going to do is to write down the ratio and make sure that the bottom of the ratio or the denominator of the ratio includes the yard unit because that's the unit that I'm trying to get rid of. So I'm going to put 1,760 yards at the denominator of the ratio, and I'm going to put 1 mile at the top of the ratio. Now, this ratio is going to help me cancel the yard units and leave me with a mile unit. But my end result is supposed to be in feet. That's why I'm going to have to set up another conversion ratio where I need to change miles into feet. So I'm going to have to look back into my reference sheet and try and find a piece of information that can help me change miles into feet. And this piece of information is right here, where I have 1 mile equal to 5,280 feet. So I can do my second ratio now by including 1 mile at the bottom of the denominator, so the mile unit can cancel with the top mile unit. And then have 5,280 feet at the top of the ratio. So now, looking at this dimensional analysis, I can see that yards cancel each other, miles cancel each other, and the only unit that I am left with is feet. That's why all I need to do to find the final answer is to multiply these numbers together, and I'm going to end up with 75 feet. So let's take a look at our last example. How many cups are there in 10 gallons? And to be able to answer this question, I'm going to have to look at what's given to me. And what's given to me in this problem is 10 gallons. I'm going to use my reference sheet now to try and find a piece of information or a fact that can help me change gallons into cups. And looking at this reference sheet, I cannot see one fact or one piece of information that can directly help me change gallons into cups. But I can use 1 gallon to 4 quarts, and then change 1 quart into 2 pints, and then change 1 pint into 2 cups. So I'm going to need 3 different conversion ratios to put these 3 different facts into my dimensional analysis. So let's do that. So we're going to put the first conversion ratio, which is 1 gallon to 4 quarts, and then the second one, which can help me change 1 quart into 2 pints. And again, since quart in the first ratio is at the top of the fraction, I'm going to need to put a quart into the denominator of the second ratio to be able to cancel the units. Same thing with the third ratio, where I have to change pint into cups. So I'm going to put 1 pint at the denominator, so this setup can help me cancel the pint unit, and put 2 cups at the top. Now let's take a look at this analysis now. We have gallon cancel with gallon, and then quart cancels with quart, and pint cancel with pint. So all I need to do is to multiply the numbers that I have here. So I'm going to end up with 10 times 4 times 2 times 2, which is 160. And the only unit that I have in this setup is cups, which is exactly what I need to answer this question.